Hello, awesome stepmoms. I'm so excited. It's getting warm outside and I wanted to record from a new location. Hopefully it's not too noisy. I do have a little therapeutic sounds going on in the background to kind of disguise any of the cars that may be going by. But this week we're going to talk about stepmom overload. Now, some of us may know it as stepmom overwhelm or stepmom burnout. But to me, it's just overload, where you have just reached your max. You need to recharge in some type of way. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know some things that you can do to help you recharge, as well as some things that you can do to not even get there, because we want to be our best selves. And the only way we can be our best selves is if we're able to not get to the point of where we're in stepmom overload. And what it is when you've made it to that point where everything is irritating you, right down to someone leaving a light on, right down to just, oh, it's time to cook dinner, and someone says, oh, I don't want that for dinner, I want this for dinner, and you are just about to lose it. That if someone tells you one other thing, you are going to explode. It doesn't even matter what that one other thing could be, but you are about to explode. And so that's what, and maybe some of us, our personalities isn't the explosive side, but you're just so irritated and just so bothered by everything and everybody. I can even give you an example. I can remember a time when I was in stepmom overload, and it came to a point where it was time for drop off. It was coming to the end of our weekend, and so you guys know about the drop off, the pickup, and how that works. And so it was stated, we had agreed upon to meet at the McDonald's at 7 o'clock. And so normally we know this, that even though we decide to meet at 7 o'clock, that never seems to happen at that time. And so in this particular time, we were at the McDonald's at 7 o'clock, waiting for the exchange, right? Like we have that precious cargo, right? So as we were waiting, it became 7:30. And then after 7:30, it became 8 o'clock. Now, this is something that normally I'm, talking my husband down the tree to say, hey, well, things happen, or yeah, we knew this isn't why we should even get ourselves worked up. But the fact that I was in stepmom overload, that was it. And I'm now saying to my husband, you got to do something about this. And if you don't do something about this, I'm giving him all these ultimatums and all these things. And so if I could have just took a breath in that moment, right? But that's not how it is if you're in overload. I can tell you it could have been any event that could have happened next that could have triggered that, me ready to just explode. It could have been something easy as running out of laundry soap that afternoon when I tried to do laundry. So let's talk about how does this come to be? How do you get to the point where you are in stepmom overload? And so really where it comes from you're doing everything for everybody else. And you've not made it to a point where you're telling people no. You're not, you're trying to do everything for everybody else, but at the same time, not letting or not communicating in a way of telling others what you may need. So you are having everybody else's needs first, but your needs are not being met first by anyone. And that's where overload can come from. Also, what if they're tending to everybody else's needs but yours? And this could be from your friends that you're not getting this from your spouse, from even the kids in your house. You're asking them to do X, Y, Z, and then here it is. They're not doing it. But when they come and ask, can you do X, Y, Z, you're doing it. And so when those things, when we get to the point where we don't feel appreciated, when, everything is piled upon us, we're carrying most of the load in our household, that's when stepmom overload comes and it overtakes us. Okay, hopefully that's better. The sun has gone down just a little bit. So where I left off is, how do you know if you are in stepmom overload? And one way, the best way, is the conversation that you're having with yourself. If you are saying something like, I can't keep living like this, or if you're saying, why did I even let myself get into this blended family situation in the first place? And those are things that, like, the way you're talking to yourselves. And then the biggest thing that I can say when you know you're in overload is when those things that are just used to bring you joy, like that piece of chocolate or that cup of coffee, or that guilty pleasure show that you like to watch. If those things where you could used to just sneak off and take those little small things and do those things, and that kind of recharge you, when those things are no longer working for you, that's a telltale sign you're in stepmom overload. And so I know that this has been kind of maybe like a rant almost of what is stepmom overload, and I want to just now turn the page a little bit and talk about what are some things we can do. This is when it gets good. What are some things that we can do to prevent stepmom overload, or what can we do to come out of it? And so one thing that we can do is just simply say no. Start saying no. No, I'm not available to do that right now, or this month that's not going to work for me. Let's try that next month. Just simply saying no, that's not going to work for me. It's okay. Whoever that is that's asking, they're going to love us anyway. Another thing that we can do to help get out of stepmom overload, or not even charter over into stepmom overload, is we can do something for ourselves outside of that go-to mani-pedi. Now, I'm not saying the mani-pedi is not important. What I'm saying is sometimes we need something a little more than just that mani-pedi. And it's okay to take a weekend, to take a day, to take an afternoon, whatever it is you need for yourself. And that's going to help you with stepmom overload. And let's see here. Last but not least, something that can help you with the stepmom overload is sign up for a blended family Bliss resource, whether it's a downloadable tool or something that, like the blended family pack, or we have an upcoming challenge coming. It's called the Claim Your Stepmom Power Challenge. You can register for that at bit.ly/stepmompowerc. That is bit.ly/stepmompowerc. So I hope that you guys have gotten a lot of good information on how you can come out of stepmom overload, or how you cannot get there at all. I told you what stepmom overload was. I told you where it came from. I told you how to know what are the signs if you are in stepmom overload. And last but not least, I gave you 3 ways that you can prevent yourself from even getting into stepmom overload. Step number 1 is simply saying no. Step number 2 is taking that self-care a little bit further than that mani-pedi. And step 3 is, of course, signing up for any of the awesome stepmom resources that we have here at Blended Family Bliss. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you and goodbye. And as always, love and bliss.